Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just going to dive into Bitcoin, bigger the CoinsKid group. So we did see a breakdown yesterday, some kind of, like I said to you, I think I'll come back to the video tomorrow and we've seen a breakout in either direction. Obviously, I can't call it. I was anticipating a break to the upside, to be honest with you, but we've had a bit of a pullback, a bit of a correction. We've actually met the technical target of ascending triangle as well, which is amazing. I'm going to show you that in a moment. But right now, the CBBI, this is making a series of higher highs and higher lows. So again, if this continues, you could say, okay, well, at the minute, we're just a quarter of the way to the big blow off top, to the big top of the cycle, okay? Because at the moment, 2 was an opportunity, although it didn't feel like it when it was dark green. And right now, you're sort of entering that light green zone, like here, like we did here, and looking for this sort of big run up right now. So if this thing continues and goes all the way up to 100 or whatever, or gets dark red, then seriously look at this indication to sell, basically, because that's exactly where you should have been buying. That's exactly where you should have been selling. That's exactly where you should have been buying, and that's exactly where you should have been selling, and the CBBI is indicated with this. So I'll always show you this on a day-to-day basis, or now and again I'll try and drop it into the charts just to remind you. At the moment we're looking pretty tasty on the CBBI. So at the moment our swing low is 13. So if we do start to see the CBBI come down and it starts to sweep that 13, then that's quite squeaky bum time, but it's not doing it at the minute, okay? And we're not losing any structure or support at the moment, and we've got a series of higher highs and higher lows in the CBBI. So we just have to keep respecting the data and keep projecting forward, okay? Anyway, let's dive into the fear and greed index right now for Bitcoin. So looking at fear and greed index, we're currently at 57. I think yesterday we were at 62. Last month we were at 60, quite greedy. And right now we're sort of coming back a little bit, aren't we? Now this particular indicator is actually a lagging indicator, in my opinion. Okay, so if we go back, I remember at the time I kept showing you this on the way down. Look, all the way down there in sort of June last year. Okay, that bottom I think was the actual technical bottom for Bitcoin. I think we've had a bear trap, and we can see this in the fear and greed index as well. So I was forecasting that last year was the bottom in June. I think what we did, we come up, and this little drawback was basically a bear trap. It was swiftly recovered, basically, and I think looking back, that was an optimal entry point given the fear and greed index as well. And and if we do ever sort of roll over and I'm completely wrong and we've not got this impulsive move off this move right now, and we do start to come back down, then just remember the fear and greed index in the floor is where you want to be buying more, basically. Because I remember March 2020 all the way down there as well, the absolute fear. And what was that? That was an opportunity for an impulsive move. So at the minute we're kind of rearing its head that we have begun this impulsive move effectively from that bottom, minus the bear trap, basically. So anyway, that's the fear and greed index. So anyway, let's dive into the charts right now. So taking a quick look at the DXY, I did show you the def cross the other day on the DXY with a 1020 and a 55 EMA just there. Okay, so we've got the def cross, and right now that's sort of rearing its ugly head that this is coming down. So immediately, if this thing does start to bounce, the resistance of the EMAs could give the game away that it's going to drop again. Now something that would be really good for crypto is the loss of this low, because it means this is losing structure and continuing with this downtrend. So you've got this push, this retracement, this push, potential retracement, and you keep going down like this. Now this level here, this leg, like I said to you, is kind of giving the game away for an impulsive move from 2022 into 2023 for crypto. Now what we want to see here is the def cross on the weekly time frame, where the 20 crosses the 55 EMA down here. Okay, so we're almost getting the 10 and the 55 cross, and just there, if we can get the 55 and the 20 cross as well, the yellow line crossing the red line, that means that we're looking at a massive impulsive move here for crypto. We've got this just rinse repeat 3-year cycle. We've got the def cross there, huge move for crypto, def cross there, huge move for crypto, and the potential def cross is looming. Okay, now obviously this can be invalidated if we start to see the DXY start to come up like this in some kind of correction. It really does begin to take off here. I think that if we start to see that, we could be looking at new lows for Bitcoin and crypto. Okay, so if we do start to see the DXY rally without losing that low, and it starts to take out these EMAs on the weekly, hold some support, I'd be a little bit more inclined to say, okay, well, we've not necessarily got that def cross this year that we're looking for, and we're looking for a bigger retracement here for the DXY, which would lead to new lows in a lot of crypto projects. So it's kind of rearing its head at the moment. We can't get too excited, until we do see the def cross. I think that once we see the def cross, you can clearly see we've got the push down, the rejection, rallied into the def cross, and then drop. So again, we've got the same here. We came down, rallied into the def cross, and then we drop. You can see once you get the def cross how much of a devastating signal it actually is, and we've not quite got it just yet on the weekly. But if we see it, I think you could just kick back and relax and wait for this particular signal if it occurs, because obviously, please remember, I've not got a crystal ball or a time machine. It can happen, and obviously it might not happen, but it's a projection I've been looking at for a very long time because of this parabolic move here in the DXY. Like I said to you, I always see things that get to the 1618, they always come in for an ABC. So this is why I'm a little bit more biased, and I was telling you all of last year, once we met the 1618 as well, and I've gone through this with you before, this was an impulsive move. Once we met the 1618, which was key resistance, I was telling you I think the DXY is going to come in for an ABC in 2023. So from 2022 into 2023, we're looking at a big ABC. Now this leg here was just like this leg and just like this leg. It's opportunity, because at this point here, this is where Bitcoin absolutely took off. Okay, and I remember it all really, really well. Those of you that don't, so the indication of that is this DXY death cross. Now we've not got it yet. Okay, we've not got it yet. So don't jump up and down and celebrate that we've got it, because we have not actually got it yet. But it's a potential, isn't it? It's possibly rearing its head right now. Okay, so I do want to see it before I get too excited, obviously, but it's kind of there, isn't it? Okay, but if it happens, fantastic. If it doesn't, then we just got to sort of be patient and wait for it in the future, you know. And again, if I'm sort of not around making videos, please just use a DXY as an inverse correlation to your crypto. Okay, that if you want to see a big move in crypto, you've got to see the DXY break down, and so far we are kind of seeing that. Okay, so again, don't want to get too excited. It's not got it yet, but the day we see a death cross on a DXY is the day. You know, you'll see me get really excited, and I'll probably do like a pump up video or something like that, you know, for Bitcoin and XRP and all those other projects, because just historical data, you know, not emotion, data. So anyway, let's dive into the Bitcoin chart right now. So yesterday for Bitcoin, I did say to you, price compression lead to expansion. Yesterday I did envision coming back to this video today, and we've got a breakout. Now what happened here, I think personally, you know, we've got a little bit of a bull trap just there, and I hold my hands up. I did go long. I'll show you everything I do, you know, for educational and entertainment purposes only, but I always show you what I do. You know, I won't beat around the bush. I did lose around about 1.3% here, because what I did, and I always show you this, is basically this resistance. We was holding the EMAs coming up like this, and then we broke out. So it was looking like we was going to get the breakout, and the technical target of the ascending triangle was going to be met, like I said to you, all the way up there, around about 29k, wasn't it? If you break that, I'm looking at that target just there. So we started to get multiple closes above this resistance right here. Okay, so at that point, I actually put some bids for the retest of this resistance, okay, as support. When we come down, I got them bids filled just there, and I always show you what I do. Okay, we got the bids filled just there, and I put my stop loss on that swing low, because this sort of minimalizes any risk if we have a throwback, which is exactly what we got here. Okay, we got a bull trap and a throwback back into the pattern. So I got stopped out. It is what it is, you know. It's a trade that went against me, but you know, I've had such a good time up here, coming up. And you know, they always say you should never short a bull market. This is why I was looking to long this breakout. Okay, but what I do try and do is try and find swings and roundabouts for you, short, long, whatever. You know, always try and find it. For example, here, you know, you got this point of resistance, you're creating that support, that could have been your next point of resistance, you're coming back down, you got this ascending level support, this way you go long, this way you go short, you know, so on and so forth. You've got little swings within patterns that develop. Okay, and this is something I always teach you. So anyway, aside from that, we've got the bull trap leading to a potential bear trap right now. I'm going to go through this with you as to why, because what we've done is we've met the technical target of an ascending triangle to the downside. So look, this is your technical target from your first point of contact all the way down. This is your breakout target to the upside, and if you was to break down, okay, this is your breakdown target to the downside. So at this point, this is where I just watch this come down, put some bids in down here, and right now I'm riding a lovely little long up again, and I put some spot bids in down there as well, because technical targets are technical targets. So if you was actually short, like I said to you, just go short down to the technical target once you lose that support just there. Now personally, I wasn't short, to be honest with you. I was long. I got stopped out, came back down, lost it, met the technical target, and I've gone long from this position. So right now, what's going on for Bitcoin? Well, we could potentially look at this as some kind of bear trap. Okay, this is a little bull trap, and this is possibly some kind of bear trap. Now this will tell itself as a bear trap if this thing starts to come up and turns this into support once more, and we have something called a throwback back into this ascending triangle like this. Okay, so we've had some kind of false break to the downside, break back in, get really tight to the ascending triangle, and then continue. So as well as a little bull trap, we've had a bit of a bear trap, and we're thrown back into the pattern. So this is something I'm looking for. Okay, I think we'll ride this all the way up into this resistance here, which is where I'm looking to take profit. So this trend line here is a very, very strong area for me of resistance going forward. If Bitcoin does start to come up right now, gets through these EMAs and rejects at that trend line, I will close my long and will potentially open a short at that point. Okay, but we'll keep an eye, because at this point, if this gets rejected like this and rolls, then this is a lot bigger correction than we anticipate here for Bitcoin. Okay, so again, it's all about support and resistance. I've not got a crystal ball. I can't guarantee what Bitcoin's going to do, but I'll always try and find you swings and roundabouts. So right now, this is a massive level of resistance going forward. If Bitcoin can get its ass back inside of that and hold its support, for me, this is a bear trap. Okay, and what we've got is a throwback back into an ascending triangle, looking for continuation, and this was your correction. Okay, for Bitcoin. So how you understand that update? Stay healthy, stay strong, trade too. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, but what I'm looking for right now off this support here, I'm currently still long, and what I'm looking for is a beautiful little long up to around about that level of resistance, which is around about 5.18%. You know, so at the minute, even though I incurred a loss here, I've actually got it back in this buyback on this technical target for this ascending triangle. This is something, you know, you can ride the waves, and this is something I'll show you on a day-to-day basis. Okay, remember, no guarantees, technical analysis, it's all support and resistance. Hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Back soon with another update on Bitcoin. Bye bye.